Every time we come to Dallas, we're constantly reminded of the sacrifices that we had to make in order to get closer to our purpose.
We moved from San Antonio. Dallas was our initial destination.
Yeah.
And we were literally here for 30 days before, our worlds kind of got shaken up by AJ's immediate, success, I guess you can say, in regards to all the shows he was on and getting a manager and agent. But we love Dallas. I love being here. It's not a small town.
You was almost about to stay.
I sure was. I got a job, y'all. Like when we moved here from San Antonio, I went on interviews. I got a job at an elementary school. Wait, hey, you want to talk about faith? You want to talk about leaping to faith? Y'all, I came to Dallas and I got a teaching job that paid $5,000 more than what I was getting paid in San Antonio. And I left that job to go to nothing, okay? Because I didn't have nothing in California. But then when I do get a teaching job, y'all ready for this? Y'all ready? I still, after 6 years, don't make what I would have made the first year here in Dallas, okay? Let's talk about purpose. All right, you're gonna have to turn down some opportunities, okay? You're gonna have to turn down some things that are right in front of you and they seem like they make sense for purpose. Like you truly have to follow your heart, and you can't follow your love of money. You can't follow what you see in the natural as being a good decision. You truly have to lead with your heart. You really have to put everything at his feet. And even though it looks crazy to everybody else, you have to follow him. If I wouldn't have followed him, I probably would have had more money. We may have had a huge house like this, but would we have been living in purpose? Or would we have been living on a trajectory that we put out for ourselves because we were aiming for money, or we were aiming for security? We weren't aiming for fulfilling what the kingdom has brought us here to do. And I thank God for our church and our faith and the way that we've evolved as people, because now that's what keeps us strong in times where we come here and it's like, man, it would be so easy just to leave, It keeps us focused. And wherever God leads, we'll see. But right now he has us in LA, and I'm trusting and believing that whatever he has for us to do there is going to be there. And we're going to be without any lack. Period. So now you can just be about your Father's business and just produce the things that he put on your heart. So you don't even have to be consumed with like what man expects you to do. Those deadlines, they not expecting much. They trying to figure out how to survive. So this is a perfect time for a believer to just get connected, get closer to him, instill whatever we can instill in our children while they're right here with us every day. Be a living, breathing example of what we want for them. Work on loving each other. Work on goal setting. Just like intentional living. And I think some of these times we don't get a chance to live intentionally because we're so stuck in the rat race of just trying to survive, especially living out here. It's so hard to be intentional. And you call your work intentional because you don't have a choice, man. Your work don't consume all your time. So now it's just like we really are intentionally living. And if we are building, if we are creating something, i.e. hope together, then that's what God intended. And those are some things that couldn't get done when you were distracted by trying to just survive. You know how Facebook has the memories that they tell you like years ago you posted something or whatever? So look, on May 25th, 2013, it says, breaking news, Facebook family and friends. Jay Freeze will be on the Ellen DeGeneres Show, June 4th. Set your DVR now. God is so awesome. All of him, none of us. My baby prayed and received. Team Jay Freeze. How dope is that? Gee. Like back then, Jay, do you remember your fake box?
That's what I did.
Yeah, yep.
This is the one with the heart and it's the Valentine's Day box.
Yeah, and I used to actually write down like your prayers. So like if you would say, and I don't even know why I started doing it. I think it was just because I was so amazed with the fact that when we would pray at night, we would do like, now I lay me down to sleep, like the regular prayer, and then you would just keep going and be asking God for like all this stuff. And I just thought it was so amazing that you would just keep going. So I started writing it down, and like you asked to be on the Ellen DeGeneres show. You was talking about so you think you can dance. You even said you wanted to meet Kevin Hart. And when you went on Dancing with the Stars, who was the judge? Clearly.
Yeah.
I said that?
You absolutely did. Absolutely did. And I wrote the date on it too. So if you look on those little slips of paper in there, you can see like what you said, and then you can see the date that you said it.
Back then, you were praying about things that you were desiring to do, and those things came true, right? So in your mind, like when you think about God, how do you feel about, let me ask you, how do you feel about like your relationship with God as far as like who you're praying to?
We know you can't see him. So how do you formulate that relationship with him?
So, that's a good question. I just feel like when I was younger, I didn't have anything to be mad at God about. Like, how I just like people like that are like kind of like off about God. They'll be like, if there was a God, then there wouldn't be coronavirus, and there wouldn't be like these many cases and blah 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 blah, right? Well, then back then I didn't have anything to be mad about God for, and I didn't have anything to distract me from saying who He really is. So, and then I had you guys, and then we always just go to church and stuff like that. So just the consistency of us doing stuff that isn't God's vision. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So when talking about recognizing His presence, Jay, when you back then, let me ask you, back then when you were praying, was it really a full circle connection for you? Like you just said, I said that about Kevin Hart. So you were just just a vessel that was allowing God to just say whatever He wanted to say out of your mouth, and you was willing to allow your body to do whatever He was asking you to do. So because did you know that you were praying to go on Ellen, and once you went on Ellen, did that create a full circle understanding that prayer to God equals blessing? Like did that connection, did you get that when you was 5?
No, honestly, I used to like treat praying like a wish list, but there's nothing like really wrong about that. But like, you need to at least know that you're talking to God. Like, I used to be like, "Hey God, I just want to say, I wanted this, I want this, I want this, I want this, and I also want this." But like, I didn't really get the connection that it was God. So like, now when I pray to God and ask Him for all this stuff, I actually ask for stuff that can help, I guess. I don't really know how to say it.
Now,
Ask for what?
He said stuff that can help. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's like I want to remember my lines, but like I don't. It's just everything is given to me. Technically, I didn't really work for it as much as you do as an adult. I didn't work for it like that. So like now I know that if I want something, I have to work for it. And if I work for it, and I'm not sure, I will pray about it. Yeah. That's it.
So I understand that. And it's something how God, I guess, moves when you allow Him to move. And for you to be able to put these connections together now, 6 years later. But back then, what you were doing, not even knowing, was like setting our family on fire for God, because you didn't even understand the connection that you were making that simply is just stating you can dream and desire to, you know what I'm saying, want for things that you actually desire. Like, it's nothing wrong with desiring something. You know what I'm saying? And when you get older, you start thinking that desires of your heart don't matter. It's only about taking care of your family, being responsible, doing this and that. And then you see a lot of people that live their whole life, and then they ultimately end up saying they're living it for their children because they didn't live it for themselves and their children, understanding that living life through your purpose is your selfishness because you're selfishly saying, I'm going to be who I'm supposed to be. When you are who you're supposed to be, you actually affect the world differently than just being a responsible person. A responsible person, like, just to say I'm going to make enough money to take care of my family, that's one thing. But I'm learning that there's so many things, like you said, that people are angry with God about. And a lot of it is that they gave up, especially when you talk about adults. They gave up their dream in exchange for the responsibility of being an adult. And with that, now they're not in touch with what they really want. So, like, nothing makes you happy.
Yeah.
Like, and that's when you see people that's depressed, and they just, because nothing makes you happy. It's a lot of people that do things just for money. And you see people committing suicide all the time because money doesn't make you happy.
But it's something for people to get mad at God because something didn't happen for them in their life and they felt like it should have, but they never tested God. Like, they never actually tried to pursue it. They took it into their own hands in saying what they needed to do to provide. They never tested God to see, if I follow this desire of my heart, will you also provide for me as well?
You told me that your head was hurting when you were getting coffee, right? So then I was like, oh man, and then I put my hands on your head, and then you said, yeah, put your hands right here, and I did, and I prayed over them, and then when I left with Dad, and when we came back, you said that your head stopped hurting.
Like, straight up. So for real, so while y'all were gone, like, I was praying and I was talking to God, and he told me that you have, like, healing hands. Like, you have power in your hands. And if you think about it, it makes so much sense because since you were a baby, you always have to have something to touch, like from the bracelets that you would walk around with that you had to have on your wrist, or just always having to touch stuff. Remember, I had brought all that stuff from like the OT because I thought you had sensory. Like, I didn't know what was going on with you, but you always did that. And now that you're older, you use your hands and you can do anything with them. You draw with them, you do hair with them, you do makeup with them. You what else?
So.
You sew with them. You cook with them. You heal with them. Like, Ryan, you have so much power in your hands. Let me see. Can you believe that?
No.
Like, that's where your superpower is. It's in your hands.